Okay, let me. Is it live? Oh dear God, please tell me I'm doing this right.
I'll tell you. It's not live on your channel yet.
Okay.
You're live.
I am?
You're live right now.
Okay.
You're live.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to just thank you for showing up for our Facebook Live. And I'm here with Amanda, Hope, Haley. She's the red haired archaeologist, and she's the author of the book, The Red Haired Archaeologist. Hold on just a second. In case you've not read it, you can get this book online. It's a fantastic read. I'm sure you'll love it. And bear with us because we are using this new software and I'm trying to get used to it. So, my name is Abel Martinez. I am the co founder of AM Israel Tours, and we are planning this awesome tour to Israel for you next May, May 10th through the 22nd of 2023. It is with Amanda Hope. Haley, and she is an archaeologist. She's a graduate of Harvard. Actually, Amanda, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Well, so my passion is biblical archaeology. That's what I studied in school, and I became an author. I've written a lot of Christian nonfiction over the years, and so the two kind of met together in the book that he just held up, "The Red-Haired Archaeologist Israel." In 2019, I had the opportunity to go dig at Tel Shomron, and when I was finished with the dig, my husband and my parents came over and met me, and I took them on a little 2-week excursion all the way through Israel, visiting a lot of the really important archaeological sites that are really important to me and that are important to helping us understand the Bible. And that turned into the book that Abel just held up. And so after that book came out, some people who really enjoyed it asked me if I would ever consider doing a tour like that, but for more than just my parents and David. And so I had a very small background in doing tour development when I was at Harvard. My side job, the way I put myself through school, was working for a tour company. And so I know that when it comes to tours, I know just enough to be dangerous. I'm happy to rent a car and take some friends and family. But for something like this, it was really important to me to partner with a company who knows what they're doing, that they have been to Israel several times before, and that they have an equal passion for this content. And so Abel and I met, and now we're trying to bring the book to life
Yes.
for a boutique group of people to come with us. It's going to be one bus. Do you want to talk about the logistics a little bit, Abel?
Sure. So, as Amanda was saying, we are doing a tour. We want to limit it to one bus load, which seats approximately 53 people. The reason being is Amanda would like to keep it intimate so that she could interact with people. If you have questions regarding the sites that we're going to, it'll be a little bit easier on her and myself actually to communicate clearly and effectively with a smaller tour group. Um, and then in saying this, since the tour bus does only seat 53 people, and we are limiting it to that amount of people. If you know of any people that want to go with us on the tour, if you bring 6 or more people, then you are able to go free. So I would like to keep, just throw that out there, plant that seed. So again, if you have more than 6 people that want to go with you, you can go free. Um, but also keep in mind, since it is an intimate setting, and we are limiting it to 53 people, seats are going to be limited. So if you want to secure your space now, please get in your deposit. The deposit is 750 per person. Then the balance will be due by February 10th. So February 10th of 2023. So in saying that, I would like for you to visit amisraeltours.com. You can register there, secure your space. You'll fill out a brief form. It'll be some questions regarding your name, your age, your date, your passport information, medical history. Then you pay your deposit of $750, and that will secure your spot. Do you want to
One
share a
reason
little? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one reason we want to keep it smaller is it's important to me to be able to interact with all the people who go on it. Um,
Mhm.
I I naturally just like to be friends with everyone. And so I want to get to know everyone's name and face. And I want us to all have the opportunity to, over dinner or when we're on the bus in between places, be able to talk about the places that we've visited because Israel Israel is unique in this world as a place that for thousands and thousands of years has had people living there the whole time. And so much of that ties into the Bible. And so it's really interesting, I think, for people to go and see sites that maybe they've only ever read about in scripture, that they've only ever read about in English translations, and to be able to see what things looked like at the time. And really be able to discuss with one another how it changes the way that we understand and that we interpret scripture. And so that element of being able to talk with each other and do this as almost a very large family going on this tour, I think is part of what can make it really unique, being able to share those meals together. And when you go to a site like Beth Shemesh that we're going to visit, that may not be a place that immediately you recognize when you hear it. But when you think about in the Bible, that is where they had high places that Josiah sent his people in and they knocked down the altars that were there. Well, so when you go and visit it, it's been built, it's been restored in certain places. And you can actually walk through these towns and you can touch some of the stones that are 2,000 years old, depending on where we are in the tell.
Yeah.
And we talk about just how does this change the way that we pictured the way these cities look? When you hear about large cities in the Old Testament, what do you think they looked like? Well, now you're actually going to be able to walk through it and experience it. One thing that's really different about this tour compared to maybe a lot of the church tours that are out there is I'm not a pastor. If anything, I'm a historian. I might like to call myself that. I have a background in biblical archaeology. I've done a lot of textual studies. But for me, what's important is contextualizing the Bible and doing that with the actual physical sites. So many of the church Christian tours will go and spend a lot of time visiting churches. And the churches are so important to our Christian heritage, but they're often based upon tradition and not actually based upon artifacts. And so on this tour, you're going to go to places that other tours don't go to. And you're also going to have the opportunity to, for about 4 hours in one day, be an archaeologist yourself. There's this one great site in Israel. It's called Beit Guvrin, and they do something it's called Dig for a Day. And you go and you actually dig at their site. You use archaeologist tools. You learn how the work is done. And if you find something, it actually is cataloged and it actually does get used in the research that is ongoing at that particular site. But it's only for 4 days. And we'll be at a hotel after and be able to take showers and have a huge meal and really enjoy all of that. But you get a little taste of that in between going and visiting other sites that have already been professionally excavated and in a lot of cases even restored.
Mhm. Great. I'm glad that you mentioned all of that. And the fact that she stated that she likes to interact with people, especially at dinner, that has also been one of my passions for doing this too, is to get to know the people, to be able to interact with people. And I've been taking people to Israel since 2000, I think it was 2006. And I would take and lead groups 3 times a year, spring, summer, and fall. And I've met so many people, and gotten to know them, and still have relationships with a lot of the people that have been with me on previous tours. And some of them have even gone back with me multiple times. And so I love that. That is part of the passion of going to Israel because, like she said, Israel is like no other place in the world. And and also take into consideration, for, especially for those of us who live here in America, um, they are uncovering archaeological sites all the time in Israel. Like for example, I took a group there in March, and there was a parking lot just outside the Dung Gate, and they were wanting to renovate and build and yada yada yada. And in so doing, they found a bunch of artifacts. They immediately put a halt to everything, and then they have to come in. They have to assess: is this something that they want to really actually move forward on? In which they did. And so it's just it's amazing because it's not like here in America you could go pan for gold here and there, but there in Israel you're actually uncovering history, and this history ties to Israel, the Jewish people, and the land that God designated for the Jewish people. And so I'm very passionate about that. We're both passionate about Israel for a little couple of different reasons, but it all ties together. So yes, I'm very grateful for
Thank you.
Amanda.
Oh, I'm grateful for you too. Thank you.
And I'm
we're
excited for
gonna
this tour.
do
Yes.
we're gonna do some fun things besides archaeology too.
Oh yes.
I don't want you to have the impression that all you're going to be doing every day is walking up and down dusty tells all the time. This is a really active tour. Israel in general is an active tour. My husband builds medical facilities, and the first thing he did, I feel like the first thing he said when he got to Israel was, "Wow, this place is really not ADA accessible," and he meant
Right.
that in like the building sense of things. And so I know Abel recommends that everyone be at the place where you can walk for about 3 miles a day. Not that you have to like start and go and do 3 miles all at once, but it's important to be healthy and to be able to do those kinds of things. Have your shoes already broken in before you go so that you can really enjoy everything that we're seeing.
Yeah.
And as I said, we're going to see some things besides giant tells, and one of those is one thing that I'm really excited about is going up into the Golan Heights. And we're going to go spend a day visiting a winery, touring the vineyards, tasting their wines, having a little charcuterie plate, and then also learning about the more modern history that happened up in the Golan Heights, because that is close to the Syrian border. And so we're going to have the opportunity up there to learn not just about ancient viticulture, which was really important to the development of even ancient Israel because it was so important for trade, but also the recent history of the war in the 6 Day War and
Yes.
all of everything that modern day Israel has entered into. And so throughout Israel, that ancient history is underneath the modern history, which is underneath the people who are living there today and
Exactly.
trying to build roads outside of the Dung Gate. All of
Yeah.
that is layered on top of each other. And that's one thing you're going to learn here is all of those perspectives and hopefully build a really complete vision of the land of Israel from Canaanite times, from even before the Israelites, all the way up to today. And going to some of these unique places is a great way to be able to do that.
Yes.
In that vein, we also take a day and go down to Hebron, which is the largest city in the West Bank. And that is a city that is important to Jews and Muslims.
Mhm.
And the Tomb of the Patriarchs is there.
Yes.
And what is really interesting, it's not great, it's absolutely terrible. The city of Hebron is divided in half. And the
Mhm.
dividing line between Palestine and Israel literally goes directly down the middle of this building. And so we as Americans or as people holding passports other than Israeli or other than Palestinians, we're going to have the opportunity to get to see both sides, to see the synagogue side and the mosque side. And this is a great place because it's built over where Abraham and Sarah. It's built over the cave of Machpelah. We're going to spend some time actually meeting with a Palestinian family and seeing what life is like over there. And then we're also going to get to go see the archaeological stuff of King David, because King David had his first capital at Hebron. And I think sometimes this gets forgotten, but the
Yeah.
first 7 years of his reign were there. And so that's another unique thing I think about this tour, is we have the opportunity to go down there and see all of these different sides and angles and aspects of Hebron.
Yes, I think that I just can't tell you how excited I am about this. One thing I wanted to mention, Amanda keeps saying or using the word tell, and tell in Hebrew just basically means mount or hill, like Tel Megiddo, the mountain Megiddo, or um, yeah. So and then you'll hear a lot
Tel
of
Aviv.
Tel Aviv, yeah, Tel
Yeah.
Aviv. And then you'll hear a lot of um, Israelis say wadi, and it's basically like a valley. And so a lot of these terms you'll get to get familiar with while we're there in Israel. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about this tour. So yeah.
Me
Uh,
too. Me too.
so the other thing that I wanted to say, just in closing, because we didn't want to make this too long, is that Israel. I know that here in America we see a lot of news with regards to Israel and um, bombings or shootings and yada yada yada, so on and so forth. But I want to let you know, after going and taking people 3 times a year for the last 13 plus years, we have never, in all the time that I've been to Israel, encountered any issues. We've had nothing but great times. I've even taken a group during like an actual war. It was a war between Israel and Lebanon, and while we were there, I had so many of my tour members come up to me and tell me, "Abel, wow, I don't even know that I wouldn't know that there was a war going on. I feel so safe here. Um, Israel is so amazing. You will fall in love with not just Israel, but the Jewish people, and you will fall in love with the food because the food tastes amazing." So, yeah.
I dream about the cucumbers. I'm
Oh,
really
yeah.
not kidding. I dream about them. They're amazing.
I had one lady tell me, she came up to me, she had a strawberry in her hand, and she's like, "This strawberry actually tastes like a strawberry." And I was like, yeah. So, I mean, when you will be absolutely amazed. I know that my business partner and best friend, he went with me to Israel for the very first time in March. And he said, while we were there, I really don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting more like desert. And then I get here to Israel, and I'm just amazed by the amount of flowers and foliage, the groves, the orchards, and just so on and so forth. I mean, he was absolutely blown away by the beauty of Israel. And I'm telling you, if you've never been, you're going to want to go. You're going to want to go. You're going to want to experience everything that Amanda has for us. I, I I can't even tell you. I'm just so excited for this tour, and then I just also want to just throw out that if you want a more traditional tour, that's that visits more of the traditional sites, I'm also taking another group in June. So the archaeology tour will be May 10th through the 22nd. And then I'm taking another tour group June 10th through the 22nd. So basically just 1 month apart. So either one, I would definitely, if you've ever been to Israel before, and you're going to want to go again, because I promise you, this is going to be a completely, totally different experience for each and every one of us. So again, it'll be May 10th through the 22nd. of 2023. Visit us at amisraeltours.com. I have the itinerary there as well. So register, get me your deposit, and let's go. Do you have anything in
Absolutely.
closing that you would like to say?
Just to I tend to get stuck sometimes in the history and all of that, but this is going to be an amazing vacation. The hotels that Abel has picked for us, everywhere that they can be on the water, they're on the water. When we stay at the Dead Sea, there's time there to go get spa treatments if you want to do
Yes.
something like that. The food, of course, is going to be amazing. There are even some special restaurants that we already have reservations at that we're going to be staying. And so it's an active tour. You're going to get to see so much, and your perspective on the Bible and on the land of Israel is going to change. But you're also going to leave physically restored because you're going to have eaten so much great food and gotten, good exercise and been out in the sun. You're going to get all of that winter stuff shaken off of you, and you're going to feel like a new person coming back into the US for every single reason possible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, and I can't even begin to tell you the amount of people that go with me. They even like the last 2 days of the tour, they'll come up to me and they're like thanking me for bringing them because it changes them. It changes their perspective. They fall in love again with God, and it just is it's very very profound to be able to be in the land of Israel for many 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 reasons. So, yes. So
Yes.
if you want to go, please join us, and we would love to have
Yes.
you. amisraeltours.com. Register today, get those deposits in, and we'll see you there. Thank you so
Sounds
much for
great.
joining us. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you.
Bye bye.